questions asked, nothing, not even my offer letter was asked. Air France is very strict about the luggage. In fact, this is the first time I have seen any airline weigh your cabin baggage. Just one tip I would like to give to everyone is
Yeah.
to take a travel insurance when you. And I landed in 15th of August.
Okay, now can you share the costs with us for everything?
Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Canada Positive. My name is Pankaj
I'm Neha.
and we make videos on life in Canada and immigration.
Since Canada has extended its travel ban from India till September 21st, so many travelers are coming from different routes.
So here we are to share the story of a friend who landed in Canada 2 days ago on August 18.
For our new subscribers or our new viewers, please consider subscribing to this channel to get new updates.
It's a motivation for us.
Without any further ado, let's jump into the video.
So hi everyone, thanks for having me on your channel. And so I am here as an international student, so I'll be starting my studies from September. And I landed in Vancouver on 18th of August. So I started my journey from India on 15th of August. So yeah, I hope my experience helps others as well to travel to Canada safely during these times. So I originally am from Kolkata. So I took a domestic connection from Kolkata to Delhi on the 14th.
On
My
14th.
yeah,
Okay.
14th of August, and
Okay.
my flight from Delhi was at 1:15 a.m. on the 15th of August. It was an Air France flight to Paris, where I had a 6 hours layover almost, and then it was again an Air France flight to Mexico City. So I landed in Mexico City at around 15th of August, 5 p.m. in the evening in local time.
Okay.
And I stayed on 15th and 16th night in Mexico, and then 17th late night I had a flight to Vancouver via Toronto on Air Canada.
Okay, so when you board your flight from Delhi and then from Mexico, were there any requirement for the PCR test or any other documents?
Delhi, there wasn't any issue at all. In fact, everything at Delhi was really smooth for me. I don't know if I got lucky or not because up till landing at Paris, the only document I ever had to show was my passport. So Delhi immigration didn't ask me any documents at all, nor did Air France. In fact, Air France didn't even ask me for an RT-PCR test, though I had got one done just in case, just for my own safety. It's better to get tested positive in India than being stranded in Mexico. So I would suggest everyone to do one, even if your destination or airline doesn't require one to do so. So Delhi immigration just saw my passport and boarding pass to Mexico City. He saw my Canadian visa, the visa officer, and he asked me, I'm going to Mexico City, and from then, would I be going to Canada? And I said yes. So yeah, since he saw that it was a study visa, he said, you're going there for study, and I said yes, and he just stamped my passport and let me go. So no questions asked, nothing, not even my offer letter was asked. So that I was
And
really
nothing
surprised.
related to your hotel bookings in Mexico?
Nothing.
Okay.
Delhi, as I said, till Paris, I only showed my passport everywhere.
Okay.
Nothing else was asked. So once I landed in Paris, however, before boarding the Paris to Mexico City flight, they checked the hotel booking and onward flight for all passengers bound for US and Canada. But it's just a formality check. You can show it on your phone. You don't need a printout or something. And
Okay.
it's just a check from the airlines. And once I landed in Mexico City, there also the immigration was again very smooth, no documents asked at all. He just took my passport, the FMM form that the flight had provided me. He asked me how long I would be in Mexico City, and I said 2 nights. And he said, then you're flying onwards to Canada. I said yes. Again, he just stamped, and I was on my way.
If you have more questions, please comment down below and please consider subscribing to our channel. It's a motivation for us.
So when you have a halt in Paris, did they ask you anything, any test or for any quarantine or something?
No, nothing. Never.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
So no quarantine required in Paris or either in Mexico?
No, as per even till now, from what I'm aware of the rules, if you're transiting Paris, there's no quarantine required. There's nothing like you have to be vaccinated or something. In Mexico, also, there's nothing related to quarantine or vaccination.
Okay.
So how long was your halt in Paris?
It was 5 hours and 55 minutes, so
Okay,
approximately
almost 6 hours.
6 hours. Yeah.
And do you have any idea if it's more than do they ask anything else? If, for example, if you're staying at there for 24 hours, something.
I think there's a requirement that you can't stay more than 24 hours because
Okay.
then you are basically not a transit passenger since
Yeah.
you're basically missing one flight and then getting on next day's flight.
Mhm.
So I don't know about the rules as such, but if it's a Mexico City, if you're flying to Mexico, I don't think you would need that long a layover.
Okay. Okay. So our next question was there any trouble with the luggage?
Yes.
Okay.
So Air France is very strict about the luggage. In fact, this is the first time I have seen any airline weigh your cabin baggage, and
Oh.
they're pretty serious about it because
Okay.
one of my friend had the luggage a bit more, and they told her to like check the luggage in and at an extra cost.
Oh.
So her luggage was, I think, 6 kgs above the limit for the cabin baggage, and even though her check-in luggage was within the limits, but she had to pay, I think, 16,000 rupees for to check that bag in. But it was a benefit later, which we realized because she was upgraded from economy to premium economy on the Paris to Mexico City flight.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so at least it wasn't like the money didn't go in vain.
Yeah, yeah, at least you got
So,
something.
how much
Yeah.
exactly was allowed?
Air France, the check-in baggage is you are allowed two check-in baggages of 23 kgs each,
Okay.
and the cabin baggage limitation is you get one small bag and a personal item like a laptop bag or a purse, and the total limit is 12 kgs.
Okay.
Also, like Paris airport is pretty strict with the security of the cabin baggage, so they'll throw away any liquids that you have.
Hmm.
Even like I had those Tetra Pak juices that the airlines give with me, I had kept them so that I would like have them during the layover, but I had to throw them away as well. So be aware they're really strict about the liquids and sharp objects. Even if it's a blunt, scissor or something, they'll just throw it away.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Were there proper food available there on Paris airport?
In the airport, yeah, there are a number of options you can
Okay.
get large one, but on the Paris to Mexico City flight, I don't know if it's my taste or I didn't like the food at all. It
Oh.
was typical French food, so
Yeah.
I don't know if it was mine.
Okay, there's always a problem in there. So our next question will be, how did you book your flight?
I booked all my flights on the official websites for Air France and Air Canada. I was lucky that I got cheap tickets from Delhi to Mexico City because I booked pretty early.
Oh wow.
I booked my Mexico City flight around end of June because that's when my direct flight to Canada got cancelled, and me and my friend thought it's best to book this one as soon as possible so that we can have flexibility later. And we didn't book the Mexico City to Canada flight then. If we had, we would have had it even cheaper then. We waited till July 19th, I think, when they extended the ban again. So that got a bit expensive, but still was under reasonable costs.
So you still suggest that to book your flights before time, not just yeah. Okay.
Just book refundable fares. So Air France and KLM, which are basically the same company, they're running this. I think due to COVID, they have this policy that you can get your flights refunded anytime, any point you want.
Okay.
So it is just book refundable tickets, even if they cost you 10, 15,000 more right now, because when the route gets stopped and you will then regret it not booking a refundable ticket.
Yeah. Booking refundable tickets are always good, and especially in this COVID time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Firstly, we want to know about the Delhi. Before you onboard to the Delhi flight, what are the tips that you want to share?
Then, like, I would say just keep your documents with you. Just keep your proper documents. Like, I wasn't asked for any documents. Doesn't mean that anyone else wouldn't be. It all depends on the immigration officer.
Yeah.
Some officers are really cool with you. Some officers are maybe in a bad mood. They might tell you to show all of the documents that you have. So, like, I had a friend who was traveling from Mumbai on the 16th night, and they had a hard time because everywhere, every document was checked. Probably it was due to the $15 security reasons, but it's better to be prepared with all your documents and everything while traveling. And in Delhi, Air France will open their check-in counter at around 9 p.m. in the at night. So, but the queues will start from around 8 p.m. So, a good idea would be to reach the airport around 7:30 or 8, so
Yeah.
that you aren't in the wrong end of the queue. Because
Mhm.
as I said, Air France are very strict with their luggage policies and all. So it's better to be early.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Mexico now. When you landed in Mexico, did they ask you for RT-PCR tests?
No. So yeah, until now, Mexico City doesn't have any requirement for an RT-PCR test, but I did one just for my safety from Kolkata 48 hours before my flight from Delhi. But I wasn't asked anywhere because, as I said, Mexico doesn't require it, and Air France policy is whatever the policy of your destination is what they would ask from you. So I didn't do. They didn't ask me for the reports anywhere. And once I landed in Mexico City, I did the RT-PCR test that would be required for traveling to Canada.
Okay. Can you please share the price of the RT-PCR you did in Kolkata?
Yeah, I did my tests at two labs. So just if one doesn't come or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. So
Mhm.
it was around 1100 for one of them and 1300 for one of them. Both
So
were
this is also a tip from you. Go for the two lab test in India
yeah,
also
exactly. It was
to be on the
sponsored.
safer side. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Okay.
So how about the payments in the Mexico? Did they accept credit card or Forex card?
So, like in Mexico City, they will accept pesos everywhere if you have it with them. But we didn't convert to pesos anywhere. We kept some
Mhm.
USD change to give tips to the porters at the
Mhm.
airport and the hotel. And it is you should keep something with you because without porters, it's difficult to navigate Mexico City airport because they don't have these luggage trolleys that we have in airports around the world. I don't know why Mexico City doesn't have them. So
Yeah.
Oh,
you would need
strange.
a service of a porter, definitely.
Okay.
And the hotels and restaurants and the COVID test, we all paid using Forex card. And I don't know whether the COVID test people will accept USD cash. I think some people have said that they take it, but for the hotel and restaurant, I can tell you they won't accept USD cash. They'll either accept pesos or you can use any card you have.
And another question I want to ask you that there is a problem in Mexico that they don't speak much English. Did you find this any problem there?
Sometimes, but it's not as big a problem as I thought it would be from reading
Mhm.
others' experience.
Mhm.
Obviously, we speak English way too fast, to be honest. So we
Yeah.
have to break it down to them. We have to speak slowly, and
Mhm.
they know the keywords. Like our porter in Mexico didn't know that much English, but we just told him that we need an RT-PCR test, and I told him the name of my hotel, which was Fiesta Inn. I told him like this: we need RT-PCR test and Fiesta Inn shuttle. And he said, okay, he understood. So he took me to the test first and then he took me to the gate from where the shuttles are available. So, and in the hotel also, they understand the basics and there are always someone or the other who would understand English more or less. And they have in the hotels and restaurants, they have these English menus as well if you want. So if you can just point out them and they'll just understand what you're wanting. And you can always use Google Translate. That's the best
Okay.
way to go
Yeah.
about it.
Another tip from Orgo, Google
You use the
Translate.
Google Translate.
Yeah.
How was your stay there? Was hotel everything good?
Yeah, the hotel was fantastic. I mean, it was Fiesta Inn near the airport, so they had really good staff, really nice behavior. You could ask them anything, and they were more than happy to help. They even had a COVID test, like they can schedule a COVID test in your room as well. So we didn't go for it because we thought, like, just after landing, we went for the test because we thought we didn't want to interact with more people and get infected. So
Yeah.
the
Obviously,
faster
yeah.
you get it, the better for you. But
Yeah.
obviously, there are some people who, when they land and the flight is after 3 or 4 days. So in that case, you can't just take a test as soon as landing. So in that case, you can ask the hotel to, call a lab and get the test done in your room.
Book it by yourself.
Oh, I booked the hotel myself on booking.com. So it had no meals or anything included.
Okay.
So we used to eat there's a restaurant in the ground floor of the hotel. We used to eat there, and there are some shops just outside the hotel as well. So you can eat there. And the hotel had a shuttle to the airport every half an hour. And in the airport also, there are a lot of options to eat from. So food was not an issue, and for Indians, food at Mexico will not be an issue.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Okay.
And can you please name the hotel in Mexico where you
Yeah,
stay?
it's called Fiesta Inn. It's something called Aeroporto something. It's very near to the airport. It's like literally opposite to the airport.
Can you share the pricing for that as well?
Sure. So we were two of us were staying, and we had two queen beds. So the room cost us about 200 USD for 2 nights.
200 USD, including food?
No, no,
No,
no,
not
no,
food.
no.
Okay, okay.
But you have an
Yeah.
option to include the breakfast, I think. But you can, or you can just go and like if you want to, you can eat there. It's up to you.
Mm. So after Mexico, you said you took Air Canada,
Yeah,
and then you landed in Toronto first.
yeah, exactly.
And how was the flight? And then how much time did you stay in Toronto and then to Vancouver?
The flight was okay, not a very good experience, specifically because it was delayed. So
Oh, it was delayed?
yeah, it was a 12:40 a.m. departure originally, and it departed I think 1:20 or 1:30 a.m. And my layover at Toronto was 3 hours, and I was
Okay.
skeptical I would be missing my flight to Vancouver.
Oh,
Already they reduced my layover by 40 minutes just at Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was a bit worried, but my main concern was let me land in Toronto and then I'll figure out everything else.
Yeah.
So the flight was good. It was a late night flight, so I slept most of it. Air Canada doesn't serve food on these flights, so you have to buy it.
Oh.
They serve some hot or alcoholic beverages. I think those were free or complimentary, but there's no food on these flights.
Okay.
So one should be prepared for that. And also Mexico City Airport, the shops sort of close around 10 or 11 p.m. So it's a good idea to have dinner and then come to the airport.
Okay. Before boarding a flight for Toronto from the Mexico, did they ask you for anything special like document or any
Yeah,
test?
yeah. So when you are checking in for Air Canada, they'll see your RT-PCR report, your vaccination if you are vaccinated, and your arrive can receipt and the visa on the basis of which you're traveling. So on checking these things, they'll put a sticker on your passport if you're vaccinated. And the stickers, from what I heard from them, are random. You can get a red, a blue, a green, or a yellow sticker. I got a yellow sticker. So I asked him like what this yellow sticker means. He said it's nothing. Just you have the sticker means you're vaccinated.
Okay.
So yeah, and after that there was a check-in. We had an online web check-in and added our bags previously also. So we didn't have to take too much time. We just gave the bags to them. They put the tags and gave us our boarding passes.
So you raised another question that did they have any particular brand for the COVID vaccine or any vaccine like Covaxin or Covishield from India?
I think they are putting it only on the Covishield ones because that's the only one that's approved by Canada right now.
Okay.
So I didn't see anyone with a Covaxin who got a sticker.
Okay.
Mm.
And what about those who are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated?
It's nothing. They'll just not put the sticker. That's all. It's not like they're not allowed you to vote. The sticker is just so that once you land in Canada, the officer will see the sticker and he'll immediately ask you for your vaccine docs.
Okay.
Mm.
Makes sense.
And once you landed in Toronto, so the whole immigration process, because that was your first landing in Canada,
Yeah.
so the whole process was in Toronto or in Vancouver?
No, it was in Toronto completely.
Okay.
So can you share that experience with us, please?
Sure. So once I landed in Toronto, so we just followed the signs for the connections and we just landed into the immigration desks basically. So first there are some self-service kiosks that you have to go to and fill some details like whether you are bringing any prohibited items into Canada, where are you coming from, which is your original country of residence, and if you have more than 10K in cash. So I think this is basically the form they used to give out on the flight earlier. So now it's all online through on the kiosk. And so you basically answer these questions and then they'll take a picture of you and a slip will be generated. So you take that slip, your passport and everything, and you go to the first immigration officer. So he'll ask the basic questions like, why are you coming to Canada? And I said for study. So he asked me which program at which college. And then when he heard Vancouver, so he asked me if I had a connecting flight that day, and I said yes. So he asked me for my vaccine certificates, And once I showed it to him, he made some marks on that slip that I had got from the kiosk. And he just stamped my passport and told me to go and go to the next immigration point for the study permit. So once I reached there, the officer there just took my passport and that slip. He saw it and he asked me for my letter of introduction or the port of entry letter. And then he asked some basic questions like which program and which university, which city and all. So again, when he heard Vancouver, he was like, "You're traveling today?" And I said yes. So he asked, "When is your flight?" So it was at that point, it was I think around 7 or 7:15 a.m. And when I said 9 a.m., he was like, "Okay, you will get the flight. Don't worry."
Yeah. So
So-
your program is online right now, or it's in
No,
class?
it's till now it's in person. We don't know if it might shift online due to the COVID, but till now at
Okay.
least UBC has maintained that it will be an in-person semester.
Mhm.
So that question didn't arise that why are you coming for an
Yeah,
online?
because we heard so many questions regarding this that
Yeah.
because some are just online, so they are just asking questions about the online classes. So why are you going if it's online? Then yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
your is in person. Yeah.
So I had some extra questions asked because actually my offer letter was from last year and I got the visa last year in December. So the officer initially thought that I had already started my program. So he was like, "When did you start and all?" So I said, "No, I haven't started. I had deferred it to this year." So he just saw the updated offer letter and he asked me whether I have paid my fees. So I haven't paid my fees because I'm getting funding from the university. So he wanted to see that letter as well. And then he was like, "Okay." And he asked me a few basic questions like, "Where are you staying in Vancouver?" I told him that I'll be staying in the university isolation. And then, so he was okay with that. And then he just went and printed my study permit and gave it to me. And he explained that I can work for like the 20 hours a week and all that things. And then I also asked him about extending my TRV because it's valid till next year. And he explained it to me that I can do it 3 or 4 months before expiring.
Okay.
Okay. So that was smooth for you, I think.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they are not asking that. But yeah, the second officer also checked my RT-PCR once and but he just saw it and let it go. Nothing much.
So they are more concerned about the COVID thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And when you landed in Vancouver, was there any other process?
No, I just arrived as a domestic passenger. So if I was on the domestic arrivals, I just picked my luggage and went out and got an Uber.
Okay. So it was totally smooth for you when in Vancouver.
Yeah, in Vancouver was smooth. Toronto, actually, the security lines were too long. So I just made it for the flight, but even then that flight also got delayed by 20-30 minutes. But
But it was good for you then.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it arrived on time in Vancouver.
Okay.
So now we will move on our last section, which will be the cost for everything. But before that, we have few questions for you.
Sure.
So first question is, since cases are increasing in Mexico, so is it still safe to book the flights and come through Mexico to Canada?
I think for at least next 1 or 2 weeks, it won't change because I was also seeing the news recently and yeah, the cases are increasing. But the one thing I liked about Mexico was everyone is adhering to the COVID protocols. It's not like someone is not wearing a mask or something. Everyone is wearing masks, taking proper protection and all. So, and I had seen some statements from their prime minister or president who said that like we wouldn't be putting any, hard lockdowns or something. So I was also a bit worried before my travel, but I think for the next 1 or 2 weeks, there won't be any issue because, Indians have come even during our peak second wave and they hadn't put a stop to it. So probably they won't right now. And as I said, it's always good to book refundable tickets, refundable hotel bookings so that, you can be a bit flexible with your plans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do we need a visa to stay in Mexico, as we have to stay there for 2 nights, something?
No.
If more than 2 nights, yeah.
No, you can stay up to 180 days. If you have a Canadian or a US visa, and some other countries also, but these two I'm pretty sure, you don't need a visa for Mexico. They'll give you a form on the flight for the Mexico flight. For my case, it was Paris to Mexico. So it's called the FMM form. It's I don't remember the full form. It's something related to the immigration. So there they'll ask you how long you're staying, which hotel and all. and the officer will just stamp it, and for it will say for 180 days, and you just have to keep a part of the form with you, which the officer will give you, and when you're boarding the flight to Canada, they'll take that part from you.
Okay, okay.
Is there any problem that you faced during your whole trip to from India to Canada? Is there anything that you felt, oh, that was not like, I didn't expect that thing that happened to you or something like that?
If you tell me immigration wise, or there's nothing that I had faced, to be honest. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm too lucky that it went all too smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that if you have your proper documents with you, like
Yeah.
the airlines are not there to like harass you. They want you to fly, so it won't be an issue. And yeah, the only problem is the route is a bit long.
Yeah.
And a few tips would be to protect yourself, especially during your flight to Mexico City, at least
Mhm.
before you get the test done. Because in my flight, I was very afraid of getting infected because most of the people didn't mask up properly, and they were like
Oh,
they had
okay.
their masks off and all. So
Yeah.
that's an issue. You have to look out for yourself.
Hmm.
So that was the main concern that I had throughout the trip, of getting infected, but thankfully I didn't. So that is the main thing I would say to be concerned of right now, because
Hmm.
all the routes people have traveled, we know of what to expect. We know we have our documents with us, so those things wouldn't be an issue. Maybe in immigration you may have to spend 5-10 minutes, but you will get cleared as long as you have the proper documents and all.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
COVID thing, I think, is the main thing we have to be careful right now, because it would be really, really bad if you get tested positive in Mexico or any place for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you search the websites of the Mexico and Paris airports as well before making your plan?
Yeah, I used to like regularly watch the news of Mexico, whether they're imposing any COVID restrictions or not.
Hmm.
And Air France also, I spoke to Air France twice or thrice to confirm that I don't need an RT-PCR test and I don't need a transit visa. Because if you Air France has this some website called travel.aero.com where you can check your eligibility to travel. So if you put like Delhi to Paris, Paris to Mexico, and you say that you have a Canadian visa, they'll say that you are not allowed to board from Delhi, because they have some clause like Indians are not, Air France can't take Indians to, I think Air France can take Indians only to South America, Africa, and Europe, something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So technically, Mexico City is not possible in that scenario, but probably Air France considers Mexico and South America, and there haven't been any problems. Like I haven't heard anyone getting stuck with Air France or KLM or Lufthansa while traveling to Mexico City.
Do you know any other routes that are from where we can come to Canada, not just Mexico?
Yeah, I think one of my known persons traveled through Ukraine recently, like on 8th of August, I think.
Okay.
So Ukraine also is a good route, I think, but I think there's a requirement that you have to be fully vaccinated with Covishield vaccine for that route.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I think there's some quarantine requirements. Ukraine is very smooth in the sense that not many people are opting for it, as per my knowledge, and you get tested very quickly there. So Ukraine is also a good route, I would say. But in fact, I had also considered Ukraine. I was looking to travel with that person, but I didn't opt for it because one of the issues with Ukraine is that since it's a India to Europe and Europe to Canada flights, most of the fares will not have any check-in luggage with you. So
Okay.
you have to pay extra for that. And when you're coming to Canada for the first time, it's not possible to come with no luggage at all.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it
that's
is.
right. Yeah. Did you use a ArriveCan app as well?
Yeah. So they'll check it before you're boarding from Mexico City to Canada. So
Okay.
they'll just check the receipt, and also while at immigration, they'll just ask you for the receipt so that the officer can bring up the details on his system. So yeah, you need to fill the ArriveCan. I think it's 72 hours before your arrival into Canada.
And you need not to do any quarantine here in Canada because you're fully vaccinated and your
Yeah.
test reports are negative.
They didn't take an arrival test. They have waived off that also for fully
Oh, really?
vaccinated
Okay.
travelers. So I think it's right now the rule is that for fully vaccinated travelers, they can test you at random. So you don't need to register
Yeah.
for the test or something. And probably because I had a connecting flight, they didn't choose me at random. So,
Okay.
yeah, even if they test you, not a big deal. You don't need to wait for the results. You can, just they will give you a guideline which said that try to avoid going out, but it's
Yeah.
not mandatory that you have to stay in, and you just have to mask up whenever you go out for the next 14 days.
Okay.
So are you on a self isolation right now?
No, I went out to the city today. So I went to Service Canada. I went to get a SIM card and the UTC
Mm.
ID card. So I got a lot of things done today. So yeah, but again, we have to be careful ourselves.
Okay, now can you share the costs with us for everything?
Sure. So my Delhi to Mexico flight was 78,000 INR. So I got it pretty cheap.
Wow.
Yeah. And my Mexico City to Canada flight was 54,000 INR for Air Canada.
Okay.
It was an economy comfort fare. So it was fully refundable and had one bag included in it. So for the second bag, I had to pay 52 Canadian dollars.
Mhm.
So around 3,000, you can just,
Yeah.
yeah. So hotel at Mexico was $200 for two person for 2 nights. And that's about it. Food was around, I would say, 75 US dollars per person for 4 or 5 meals, 4 or 5 meals, yeah. Because in Mexico, the food portions are too large. So
Yeah.
you're not hungry for a long time after
And it's quite cheaper, I think, as compared to Canada or US.
Yeah, compared to Canada or US, it's quite cheap. It's a very
Yeah.
reasonable
Mm-hmm.
place to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know what was the total cost for that for your whole trip?
With hotels and all and flights, I think it was around 1.5 lakhs. And with the miscellaneous like COVID test was 2,000 pesos per person. So if you put all that, I think it should be around 1.6 lakhs total.
Still cheap from others because others are getting at
Yeah.
2.5, 2.8.
Yeah, I mean 2.5 is like a cheap rate at this moment, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mhm. Do you like Vancouver?
Yeah, yesterday I also went out roaming around the university. Yesterday was bright and sunny. Today it's a bit gloomy and cold.
Yeah.
But it was nice to walk around. Yeah. Also, I went to the Service Canada very early in the morning at 8:30 a.m. So
Okay.
there wasn't a queue and all. So I got my SIN number, which I was the most worried about. So
Mm.
yeah, it's been good till now.
For this.
Just one tip I would like to give to everyone is
Yeah.
to take a travel insurance when you're traveling, especially through these third country routes.
Mm-hmm.
I took one because, even after everything, things can go south anywhere. So a travel insurance would be really good to have, and you can take it for like 15 or 16 days, so that in case you get positive at a third country, your insurance will cover your costs.
Can you name your insurance? Do you want to name the
Yeah,
insurance?
sure. I took Care Insurance.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was earlier Religare Insurance, and it's recommended by Shenzhen visa procedures.
Yeah, for the Europe.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and there are other options as well, Tata AIG travel insurance and all. And these are really cheap, to be honest, when we consider the whole cost of travel. Because I have heard of people who have had their bags misplaced, their bags not arriving in Mexico or even Canada. So you can lose your passport anytime. I mean,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
hope it doesn't happen. So an insurance is a very good thing to have, especially when we're traveling these long and indirect routes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And only I think the Ukraine route requires a new insurance as mandatory. Mexico doesn't require one, but it's good to have one.
Good to have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mexico route doesn't require insurance, but you are suggesting the one.
Yeah, it's always good. Any route you take,
Always good. Yeah.
whether they ask you or not, it's good to have a travel insurance with you.
Okay. So I have another question. So I have another question to ask you to give suggestion to the viewers that while searching the airports for the flights, about the test and the stay on the quarantine, do you want to give any tip to them?
Yeah, sure. So best thing is first you obviously select the route that you are going to take, and there's a group in Facebook called Canadians Stranded in India. It's a really helpful group. So they have experiences from past travelers as well. So first of all, I would say just read through the routes that you are interested in. to see what the requirements are. Some routes may require you to be fully vaccinated or to provide some document that you may not have with you. So it's better to know that before. Once you select the route, then go to the country's website where you are going to do the RT-PCR to see what are the requirements for there. If there's any quarantine, if there's any other requirement that you need to fulfill, and then probably go and buy the tickets, and always buy refundable tickets.
Okay, yeah.
So thank you, Argo, for the information that you have shared with us, and it means a lot for us because you have given your precious time to us as well. It's going to be really helpful for our viewers as well, those who are stranded in India or who wants to come to Canada as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching our vlog. If you have questions, please comment down below, and for more details, please consider subscribing our channel.
Please do subscribe, like, share with your friends. Signing off. Bye-bye.
Bye.